One of the tenets of Alpha Kappa Alpha is effective advocacy and social change that results in equality and equity for all citizens of the world. One of the first steps to achieve this is education. The Connection Committee of the Mu Kappa Omega chapter believes that all citizens should be informed, vigilant, engaged, and empowered. Voting by mail is a hot topic right now, and there's so much information and misinformation out there that we wanted to present you with factual information so that you can make an informed decision about how you will cast your ballot in this critical election in November. Tonight's moderator is chapter member Pam Gaskin. She will introduce our subject matter expert and special guest this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica. I would like to welcome Ms. Veronica Fernandez, who is the Early Voting Coordinator for the Fort Bend County Elections Administration Department. Ms. Fernandez has been with the Elections Office for 12 years, and those of us who are deputy voter registrars in Fort Bend County have great respect for her knowledge and for her commitment to the voting process. I'd like to ask you right now to please mute your microphones and also know that we have several prepared questions that we will be asking our guests, and your question may be among them. We do have members who are monitoring the chat, so feel free to type in your question if you have not heard it by 6:45. So, Veronica, let's get started. We have viewers from several counties in Texas. So, first question, is the ballot by mail process the same all over Texas?
Yes, ma'am. It's the same all over Texas. The laws are all the same. However, every county will have small differences because of how many registered voters they have. Example, Harris County will have more polls than we have because Fort Bend County is smaller than Harris County. And that's it. There are going to be small differences, very small differences.
Thank you. Now tell us, who is eligible to vote by mail?
Okay, anyone who is registered to vote 30 days prior to an election for the November election, that would be October 5th. Also a voter who will need to meet one of these qualifications, either 65 and older, disabled, and fear of COVID is not a disability according to the state. So, and then the third one is an expected absence out of the county. And the fourth one is a confinement in jail. And now, those are the four qualifications.
Question, do you have to be absent from the county on voting day or during early voting or all of the above?
All of the above. Yes, ma'am.
So, okay. So, how do you apply for a mail-in ballot?
Okay, well, you need to get your hands on an application to request the ballot. You can go online. You can go online to www.fortbendvotes.org and go to the Vote By link and follow the directions for ballot by mail. Print out the application, fill it out, and mail it in. 2, you can go to a local library or post office and ask for an application for a ballot by mail, fill it out, and mail it in. You can also call our office at 281-341-8670. Anyone can help you out. All you have to do is ask for a ballot by mail application. When we send it, once you receive it, please fill it out and mail it back in. Or you can wait around for a candidate to send you one. I suggest that you just do it one of those 3 other ways. If you feel better to walk in your application, you can do so at our office at 4520 Reading Road in Rosenberg, Suite A400. and you can only submit one in our office before early voting. After voting starts, we will only accept mailed-in applications to request the ballot.
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. And you told us where we are to send the application. You want to give us that, of course, the mailing address. Let me see. I think I've got an application that I can share here. Let's see. I'm going to get there. Okay. Here is the application for the ballot by mail, and you can fold it over,
Click share.
and it's already addressed.
Pam, click share.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. That is here's the ballot by mail. This is the application. Here's where you sign it. And you fold it over. And it's already self-addressed. And you do have to affix postage. Right, Veronica?
Yes, and that address is our mailing address. So you would not be able to go drop a ballot application off there. That is only our mailing address. So just send the mail to that address.
Okay. All righty.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
One more quick question. One more quick question. Can you go ahead and click record?
It's recording.
Okay, great.
Okay. Next question. You said this before, but let's get it again. What is the deadline to apply for a mail-in ballot?
Okay, it's usually 11th day before, it is the 11th day before an election. However, for November 3rd, it's October 23rd. And I have to remind everyone, it is not a postmarked by October 23rd. It has to be in our office by October 23rd.
So you have to receive it by October 23rd.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so now, Veronica, we've applied for our mail-in ballot. And we've waited. When can we expect to receive the ballot?
Okay, so once I've got your application into the system, I will start sending out ballots September 21st and forward. What I mean by that, anybody that has an application on file by September 19th, I will be sending your ballot by the 21st. If I get it afterwards, I will start sending your ballot as soon as I get your application processed, and it goes out the next day. So every day after that day, that 21st, as I receive applications.
Okay, so now we have now received our ballot.
Okay, so what you're gonna receive is the green envelope.
Okay, hold on, let me go to share screen. Can you all see that?
No,
Do you all have that screen?
I don't.
No.
No?
No.
Click share.
Okay. You
Now we
got
can
it?
see it. Yes.
Okay, all right.
So you will receive a ballot in this green envelope. It's about 5 by 8. You'd be surprised that people think it's not their ballot and they will throw it away. So this is why it's really important to let your friends know as well, this is their ballot. It will have their name addressed to them. And inside this green envelope, you will find a yellow and white envelope Let's start with the white envelope.
Okay. That's called the ballot envelope, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you all see that?
Share.
I am getting there, people.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, we see it.
So this is the ballot envelope. So once you have voted your ballot, you can place your ballot in this envelope. This is what we call the secrecy envelope. That's just for the ballot board, and it's just so that every ballot has some kind of secrecy for all of the ballot board on while we are counting.
Now, do you seal that? Do you seal that?
You will put your ballot in that and seal it. No need to sign this.
Okay.
We do not want you signing this. And you can only put one ballot envelope into one of the carrier envelope, and this is the yellow carrier envelope.
Okay, now before we get off of this, so if a husband and wife are both voting by mail, they cannot put both their ballots in the same envelope, correct?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
No. Let's just say that you were sending it by DHL or some kind of courier. You can put both yellow carrier envelopes, which you will show in a little bit.
Okay.
You could put both of those in a DHL envelope so you can save postage, but you cannot put two white ballot envelopes into a carrier envelope. And this is what I'm talking about, your carrier envelope. And they will be both, they will have your name on the top left. Okay, so
All right.
once you have placed a ballot envelope, your ballot envelope into the yellow carrier envelope, please seal it. And then I've placed a sticky here. You will sign over your sealed ballot envelope.
Okay.
So what happens is there are about 10% of people that still sign underneath it, and I will still take it, and I will try so hard to take the first layer off so the ballot board can see your signature. However, there are times that I will have to call and have you do this all over again or come into the office. So it's very important that you seal the envelope and then you sign.
Okay, seal, then sign.
And then
Because
sign.
part of your signature is going to be kind of over that flap.
That is correct.
Okay.
All right. The ballots usually require only one forever stamp to return it. If the ballot will need more postage, right where your arrow is, where your mouse is, it will have some kind of verbiage saying what is needed, how much postage is needed. So if there's nothing there, it will just require one stamp, one postage stamp.
Okay. But if there's something there, if you all have put something there.
Yeah, if we put some kind of verbiage saying, let's just say that it's going to cost 68 cents. We're going to put in red, right where your arrow is, saying that it's going to cost 68 cents to return that envelope. If there's nothing there, then you just put one.
Put your regular forever stamp on it.
That is correct.
Okay.
All right. All right. So then now, once you send that envelope to us, once you've got it in the mail, give us about 10 days, 10 postage days, post office days. So, you know, the mail doesn't run on Sunday. And, you know, everyone's worried about the mail service. So I've been telling everybody, give us 10 days, then give us a call. Again, 281-341-8670. Ask us if we've received your ballot. This is the best way to get it, to make sure that your ballot has gotten here. Okay,
Veronica, would you repeat that phone number once again, please?
281-341-8670.
Thank you.
And be patient. We will be very busy. So the phone may be, you'll be on hold for a little bit. We are trying to get a phone bank together like we usually do. And so we will have a good staff. However, you know, everybody's going to be calling. So just be patient. Wait for us to answer. Just ask us, did you get my ballot? I live at so-and-so, and we will tell you if we've got your ballot. And if it's during the early voting period, we are counting ballots at that time. And we can tell you if your ballot was okayed and accepted by the ballot board, or if we haven't received it. Okay?
That's great news. I didn't know that you could call and track your ballot. So thank you for that information. Okay, now, what if I've gotten my mail-in ballot and I change my mind? It's October 13th, the first day of early voting, and I say, you know, it's probably not too crowded. I want to go vote in person.
And
What?
you can do that.
Okay, what's the process?
You will take your ballot and you will take it to a voting poll closest to you. We have open wide voting polls. So therefore, you can go vote anywhere in Fort Bend County as long as you're a registered voter. So you will go to a poll, you will take that ballot, they will take that from you, they'll look you up, and then they'll allow you to vote. If you don't have your ballot, you still go to the poll and you tell them, I did not receive my ballot, or I don't have my ballot. They will have you fill out a form saying that you did not vote that ballot and you did not send that in, and you'll still be able to vote.
Okay, so we be able to vote a regular ballot or a provisional ballot?
Yes,
a regular
ma'am,
ballot.
a regular ballot.
Okay. That's good to know. Okay, so what if I have I'm just a procrastinator, and it is November 3rd. I just rolled out of bed and I have not voted, and I have that mail-in ballot, and I don't really want to go stand in line at the polls because it's election day. What do I do with my mail-in ballot at the last minute on election day?
On election day, you will have to come to 4520 Reading Road, Suite A400, during voting hours, and only during voting hours will you be able to bring that ballot in. You'll need a valid identification, like if you were voting in person. I can guarantee you we will have a line, so be ready to stand in line. It might not be as big as the ones at the voting polls, but we will have a line because people are procrastinators, and they will bring it at the last minute. And some aren't not procrastinators, they just forgot and they brought it in at the last minute. And you'll be able to bring that ballot in. We'll check it. We'll have you sign it in. You'll have to sign like you do a regular vote, like on the combo form. And we'll look at your identification, and we will take that ballot and take it to the ballot board, and it will be counted.
All right. So everybody got that one. Please don't be a procrastinator, first of all. October 13th is the day to go vote. So
Yes,
let's remember that. Okay, Veronica, now my ballot is there. Everybody on this call, we've all sent in our ballots. When do those ballots get counted? And just kind of tell us, when do they get counted and who does the counting?
Okay, so a signature review team comes in 3 weeks before the election, and that's when they start counting. They'll be here. What they do is the party chairs, your Republican and your Democrat party chairs, will give us both judges and clerks, just like you do at a polling place. And they would, the team is made up of both parties and they do not work apart. They always have to work together. So these are the teams that will be looking at your signatures, making sure that I want to say making sure they match, but what they're looking for is at least some similarities, a good amount of similarities. We don't want somebody putting in a ballot and it was somebody else's. So they're always checking that signature. So once they've checked your signature, then all signatures are checked. They go to start opening those ballots. And once they accepted them, they cannot go and open it and say, oh, I don't want this ballot to be accepted. That's it. Those ballots are accepted.
So once they have verified that the signature is substantially the same,
Yes.
then they open that envelope,
Yes.
that yellow envelope.
Mm-hmm. They will open that yellow envelope. Then they will open the white envelope. They
Okay.
have both envelopes and they will set them down until what we do is we package 25 together. And so they have 25 in each pack and they will open all 25. Then they are to grab the white secrecy envelope and shuffle those. Now they will not know whose ballot is whose. Then they go to open those white envelopes and that goes to the ballot scanning, Scantron,
Okay.
to be counted.
Okay. And they do this every day during.
Every day until even actually the election day.
Okay. And
Up
then
until
after
7
election
o'clock.
day, in case, because I know that if people on here have loved ones who are military,
Mhm.
they get a few extra days for theirs to come in.
Yes, ma'am. They get 5 days. So the ballots that are coming in November 3rd, November 4th for your general ballot by mail application ballots, those will be counted as well. The ones that come in after November 3rd, those
Okay,
will
now do
also,
they have to be postmarked by a certain date?
they have to be postmarked by November 3rd.
Okay.
And then they come in on the 4th, they will be accepted and counted. The military and overseas voters, their ballots, you have 5 days after the election. So I believe the 9th, is that Monday? I didn't check that.
Yeah, that's a Monday. Yes.
Okay, so they will have till the 9th to get their ballot into us.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you one more time. Can I send my ballot via FedEx or UPS? Because that's a hot topic. So
Yes.
we're going to ask it one more time because some people have joined us, this since we've been going. So I'm going to ask that one more time.
Yes, ma'am, you can. Like I said earlier, if there's a couple of people that would like to put their ballot in the same FedEx envelope, that is okay, as long as they each individually are in their own yellow carrier.
Okay.
Okay.
And you will accept those
Yes.
Up through.
Up until if it's a regular ballot, general ballot, it will be up until the 4th.
The 4th of, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, what if I say, my neighbor says, oh, I'm going down to the office on Reading Road to turn in my ballot. Can I say, well, here, can you take mine and turn mine in too?
No.
Can somebody else turn in your ballot for you?
No, ma'am. Everyone that votes a ballot has to come in and drop it off themselves if they are wanting to drop it off. So you will have to bring an identification as well. So if you're dropping off your ballot for yourself and you're wanting to drop it off for your husband, you won't even be able to do that. You have to bring your ballot in only and bring your identification, just like if you were voting in person.
Okay. I see a question here in our chat that says, what are they verifying? How are they verifying the signatures? What are they verifying against? And I think you sent me something.
So what the ballot board will be verifying is the signature from your request. So that application that Pam showed you earlier, they will be verifying that signature that you put on that application to the signature on your ballot. So those two have to match. If they don't match, this is what the ballot board is looking at right here. So what they'll see is the top one is your absentee request signature. So that is the one that you're requesting the ballot. And then your ballot envelope is the second one.
Okay.
And that's what they're going to be matching. This is what they are looking at before they even go to open ballots. Let's just say that they cannot match the first two. What they will do is go down and look at your other signatures to try to get a match.
Okay, what other signatures?
And those are signatures from your...
Oh, she just froze.
They're seeing on this frame would be the only for you. So
okay. All right. So now, if you don't get a match, then what happens?
So the clerks are looking at signatures first, and if they do not find a match, they will put you in question. That doesn't mean that it's been rejected. It just means that the judges need to look at this further. So then the judges will look at it and try to look at other stuff that we have that the clerks cannot look at, cannot see. They will look at everything that's come in from 2014, 2014 to 2020. So if we have anything on file that you have signed, we are going to be looking at that to help us verify that signature from your ballot.
Okay, so you all do a pretty rigorous attempt. Okay.
And then if it's rejected, I go in and I look for a phone number, or I even go in and look for a spouse. Maybe they have a phone number, and I try to call you in advance to let you know this is what's going on. And then we also send a letter.
Okay, so that means that if you're voting by mail and there may be a problem, I'm going to share this. My husband has Parkinson's. His signature sometimes changes from the morning to the night. So if he did a mail-in ballot and it just, the signature didn't match, then it's real important that we get that in early enough so that you can call, and maybe he can come down there and verify that that's him.
Yes.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay. I have a question. Here's a question here. Can we return our mail ballot to 4520 Reading Road during all early voting days or only on election day?
No, during all early voting days, and the law states for November only, November election only. As soon as you get your ballot, if you want to return it, you can do so the day after you receive it, or after you've voted it. So you can return it at any time after you have received your ballot and voted it.
Okay. Okay. And you said on election day, they have to turn it in during voting hours. That's 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yes, well, we have I don't have the poll list, but we're going to have different hours. But what you're going to want to be doing is looking at the election poll here at the Rosenberg Annex building. So
Okay,
if our polls are open, then we are open.
okay,
So the doors are open. So then you'll be able to come in and return your ballot.
okay, okay. Now, I've got, let's see, we covered about somebody turning in the ballot, somebody else turning in the ballot, and we know we can't do that. Here's somebody that said, can I take my ballot to the post office to get a return receipt requested?
I'm not sure what the post office does, but I'm pretty sure they have that. But you might have to pay for that.
Yeah, it's a paid service, yes.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, we've got a couple of other things, Veronica. Do you need your driver's license for anything else? Oh, if I take my driver's license to the poll, what if my license is expired?
If your license is expired, you can still vote. You just have to, it cannot be expired more than 4 years, I believe.
Yeah, if you're under 65, yeah.
Right. And because I don't know the voter registration on that side, my thing is the ballot by mail. So I'm not real sure on that, but
Okay.
I'm about 90% sure that is what it is. But I
Okay.
want to be very
Yeah,
sure.
what I've read says that if you're under 65, it can be expired 4 years.
4 years.
If you're 65, under 70, 4 years. If you are 70 or older, there's no time limit on the expiration as long as the address and all that other stuff.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking here.
One thing that I noticed here is, can a passport be used for ID?
Yes, there's a lot of things that you can use. I should have grabbed it. The first thing is, of course, they ask for a driver's license. You can use a state identification. You can use a concealed hand license. You can use the passport, the book, and the card. You can use a military picture ID. And there's several other things. And even if you don't have one of those 7, there's 7 others, but you would just have to fill out a form letting them know that you don't have this because you didn't have time to get it or whatever the issue is.
I see. Okay, thanks for clarifying that. And what about this? Can ballots sent via carrier be from separate households?
Oh, yes. Just as long as they're separate carrier envelopes.
Okay. All right. And let's see. So what about this? What if you don't live in Fort Bend County? Can someone turn in their ballot to you at the Reading Road location?
No, if you do not live in Fort Bend County, we will not accept a ballot from any other county.
Great. Okay. So what about college students? How do they request their ballots?
The same way that I explained earlier. Of course, they won't be able to go to a local post office or a library, but we get them every day calling us and asking us if we can send them an application. However, when they talk to me, I tell them it's probably going to be faster if you download the form from our website at www.fortbendvotes.org and print out that application and mail it in. And of course, that's going to be the expected absence from the county.
Great. Okay. And because there are so many people and so much going on right now, how are you all managing the workload, the staff, as far as making sure that rejected ballots are taken care of? How are you all managing this? What's the manpower like?
We've got long hours.
Okay.
And we're actually getting more people as we go. We're getting thousands of applications a day.
Mhm.
So Veronica has been at work till 8 o'clock almost every day. I do
Right.
take off some time during Sunday. And then we have my temp who's here. And we also have people who do other things in the office helping as well.
Great.
So Veronica, the address, if you want to download an application, is they can go to fortbendvotes.org,
That
correct?
is correct.
fortbendvotes.org. That would be where you can download a ballot by mail. And let's just go over the qualifications. You can be 65 or older,
Hmm.
correct?
That's correct.
You can be disabled.
That's correct.
You can be in jail, not convicted of a felony,
That is correct.
or you can be out of the county during the entirety of the early voting period
Yes.
and on election day.
Yes.
Those are the four
Or
conditions.
qualifications.
Okay. Okay. And someone else just asked to repeat the download information again. It's fortbendvotes.org. And you can pull down, in fact, if you have college students, I recommend that the parents download the form, put it in an envelope along with a stamped envelope to Fort Bend Clerk's office with instructions for them to fill out the application and sign it and put it in that stamped envelope and mail it back. And then all the parent has to do is worry them until they send their ballot back in.
There you go.
Because I had a young man one time that got his ballot, and I kept calling him to remind him to vote. And he finally, the day before the election, he said, "I can't find it. Can I get another one?" I'm like, "No, not today." Too late. So, our college students, we really have to keep in touch with them. Here's a question. Does one need to show evidence that they will be out of the county during election time?
They do not need to show evidence. However, if they are not over 65 or have a disablement, then they would have to put on number 3, the application, an expected absence, the address where they will be at. So a college kid needs to put a mailing address where they are going to be out of the county. They
Okay,
cannot have their ballot sent to their home address.
okay, okay. It has to go to where they're going to be
Mhm.
voting from.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see. I think I don't see any other. Sherry, do you see any other questions?
Yes, we do have another question about the recording. We are recording this and it will be provided. Do you want to go ahead and mention that location?
Yes. We are recording this and it will be available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Mu Kappa Omega.
And
And I think that Sherry's going to put that in the chat so you can see it. I'm going to repeat it one more time. youtube.com/Mu Kappa Omega. And we hope that we'll have it up by tomorrow sometime.
right, I've just placed that link in the chat so everyone can gain access to it.
Okay. I do have another question about the people who count the ballots. You said that they're appointed by the
party chair.
political parties, the
That's
Republicans and the Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sitting there, and let's say I'm on that, and I think it's called the Ballot Board,
That
correct?
is correct, yes.
So let's say I'm a member of the Ballot Board, and I get Carla Brown's ballot. And I get that yellow envelope with her signature, and then I compare it to her signature. I say, oh, this doesn't match. Um, do they all have to look at it? Do they have to come to some kind of agreement that it doesn't match, or can I on my own say this doesn't match?
You cannot do that on your own.
Okay.
You will be working at all times. No one is in the ballot board alone without the other party.
Okay.
So while you are working, you will have the other party with you, and you both have to come to the conclusion that that signature does not match. And even then, if you're just the clerks, if you're a clerk and you decide that it does not match, now two other people who are the judges will have to look at that signature. So one of the Republican and one of the Democrat will have to look at that signature.
Okay.
And at that time, they are told if they reject someone, they have to be both in agreement.
Okay.
And then it comes to me.
Okay.
And then
Now,
I send a letter.
Here's a question that comes up sometimes. What if you have someone who lives with you and they've got a ballot, a mail-in ballot, and they mail it in, and let's say they get it on September 23rd, and they fill it out and they mail it in, and you've got it. And then the person dies on October 10th. Is that still a good ballot?
That will be a good ballot.
Okay.
That will, as long as they had time to get that ballot to us, and you're saying they passed October 10th, but they sent that ballot September 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
They sent that ballot into us. That ballot will still be good.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. Someone asked to provide the date again when ballots have to be requested.
Okay, so the November ballot has to be can be requested now till October 23rd. So at any time till October 23rd.
And remember, if you request it on the 23rd, that means you have to have received it on the 23rd, correct?
You have to what?
You have to have received it on the 23rd.
By the 23rd.
Yes.
Yes.
So it has to be in your office.
That is.
And remember, if they get it on the 23rd, and let's say they turn it around on the 24th and put it back in the mail, you may not get it until the 29th or 30th.
That's correct.
Then you have to fill it out and mail it. And they may not get it back
Right.
in time to count, right?
Right. And my suggestion is if you are requesting that late and you get the ballot late, I suggest just to either bring that ballot in or come in person. That way your ballot counts. Your vote counts.
Okay. All righty. We have just kind of zoomed right through this. Are there any other questions? If you have questions, please put them in the chat. I know you do early voting, but I do have a question about curbside voting.
Okay.
You know, okay. What if a person is disabled and wants to vote in person, and they come to the polls? They want to come to the polls, but they are really they're having a hard time navigating, and they've had someone drive them there. Can the person who takes them there take their ID and go inside and request curbside voting? Tell folks what curbside voting is.
Okay, so curbside voting is if you cannot get out of your car, but you really want to go vote in person, you can do so by having someone, well, the best scenario would be having someone with you, taking your identification inside, standing in that line, and let the clerks know that you are there to vote, but you need to do a curbside vote. And so what that is, they'll take that e-slate, the voting machine, and they will bring that out to you. They will verify you in the computer first, and then they'll bring that computer out to you so you can do your vote comfortably in your car. This is for our voters who really want to go vote in person, but just can't stand in those lines.
Okay.
The worst scenario is someone could only drive themselves there. For those people, I tell them, call one of us. Let us know that you're outside polls ABC. We will call that judge and let them know that you're out there. They'll go out there and take your driver's license and get you situated, and they'll bring that the voting equipment out to you so you can do a vote. You can cast your
Okay.
vote. Okay, but
So-
that's the worst scenario.
Right. So they can call and make an appointment, and they can call
When they're there at the curb,
your main number, which is
Yes.
281.
341-8670.
Okay, 281-341-8670. Say I'm at the Chasewood polling place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
out
in a
there.
gray Honda parked in the handicap slot. And
And then the whoever answers the phone will call the judge at that voting poll, and they will have the judge take everything outside or go and assist you outside.
okay.
And that's the worst scenario. The best scenario for the judges, so they're not leaving everything, is that you have someone with you to bring all of your identification inside.
Okay.
Veronica, I have two more questions. What happens if you receive your ballot after November the 3rd? I'm not sure if we've discussed that.
Okay. We would have. I'm sorry that if that happens, but if it doesn't get there by November 3rd, you need to be coming into the polling places to vote.
Right.
Because after November 3rd, if you get it November 4th, you're not going to be able to cast that ballot. You will not be able, let's just say that you get it November 4th. You will not be able to come into the office and give us your ballot,
Correct.
return your ballot. It has to be returned November 3rd before.
Correct. And let's just go over this one more time. Since there may be an issue with timely delivery of mail, is it effective to just send a letter when a mail-in ballot is rejected? Isn't that better to call?
Yeah, this is why I called. The second they reject a ballot, they know to let me have that ballot. It's unopened. So I will take that ballot and I will look in the list of applications that you have sent us, and I will look for a phone number. I will call you, let you know what's going on. If there is no phone number, I will have to send you a letter to let you know what's going on. And hopefully this is done during the early voting period. If it is, then I send a list of voting polls with that letter. So if you decide to either come to the office and let us know that was your signature, you can do so, or you can go to a voting poll.
What I keep hearing, Veronica, is that it is absolutely the best thing that anyone can do is to apply early for your mail-in ballot.
Yes.
Don't wait until October 23rd. Apply actually before the early voting period starts.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you get your ballot, vote it. And you can go to many places. You all know I raise the League of Women Voters flag every time I can. but they have a website, vote411.org, that they now have their questionnaires out to the candidates now. They're collecting those. And they will have, you can go on and get your individualized ballot on that site. You can also go to fortbendvotes.org and get your ballot. All you have to know when you go to that site is what is your precinct number. And you can click on that precinct number and pull down your ballot. And now correct me, Veronica, but
it's a sample ballot.
Yeah, your sample ballot, and you can mark your sample ballot, and you can take that marked sample ballot into the booth with you.
Yes, ma'am. And especially for this election, for the November election coming up, that ballot is going to be so big, so long, and there is no way to vote a one-party ticket. This ballot is going to be a long ballot. So I suggest to everybody, get in there and look at your sample ballot. All you need is your precinct number. If you don't have your precinct number, give us a call at 281-341-8670. We will give you your precinct number.
Right. And if you have your voter registration card, your precinct number is on there. In Fort Bend County, your precinct number is a 4-digit number. And that 4-digit number is going to start with a 1, 2, 3, or 4. And that is your precinct number. So when you go on, you can pull your sample ballot. I'm so glad you reminded folks that they can do that too, Veronica, because it is a long ballot, and there is no, it used to be we could go and say, I want to vote a straight Democratic ticket or a straight Republican ticket. You cannot do that any longer. You now have to vote every race on the ballot. So we can't take a shortcut anymore.
That's right.
Here's something. Can a mail-in ballot be postmarked by November 3rd and still have it counted?
By November, if it's returned on November 4th, yes, it will be counted.
Okay. But what if it's postmarked November 3rd and you don't get it until November 9th?
It will not be counted unless it's an overseas or military vote.
Okay. So again, when you get your mail-in ballot, fill it out and mail it back.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any other questions? We have knocked this out in an hour. You are really good, Veronica. Well, we have covered a lot of territory tonight. Veronica, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us and for clarifying the process and the policy. Please give our thanks to Director John Oldham, because you guys are always willing to engage with the voting public, and you've always been friends to this chapter when we've done voter registrations, when we've hosted to have people sign up to become VDRs, and we appreciate that support. And we'd also like to thank the new Kappa Omega Chapter Connection Committee for planning and hosting this forum. This was the brainchild of Sherry Jones and Verstine Trailer. Our chairman is Carla Brown. If you have friends, family, or neighbors who would benefit from this information that we've covered tonight, this forum is going to be available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/New Kappa Omega. We have it displayed in the chat for you. Thank you so much for joining us. And remember, your vote is your voice. So if you are eligible to receive a ballot by mail, please request one. And I'm going to tell you, request it no later than this Friday. And when you receive it, vote the entire ballot, seal it, sign it, put a stamp on it, and mail it. Please don't wait until the last minute so that your vote can be your voice. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Yay!
Very good.
Thank you.